Good day. Recently, the federal government released Budget 2022 and it has some interesting things concerning real estate in that budget. In today's video, we're going to take a look at what those things are and how they could potentially affect you. I'm Roy Thomas with Sutton Group Professional Realty in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and let's get into the budget. Before we do, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of all future videos. Alright. From the budget, I looked at what's in there, and there's three main things I think are going to be of interest to potential real estate people who are buying or selling. So the first one is the multi-generational home tax credit. So if you would like to put in your home a secondary suite for a senior or an adult with a disability, the federal government is now going to give you a tax credit effective in 2023. You'll be able to get 15% back for whatever you spend, up to a maximum of $50,000 expenditure, which would equate to a $7,500 tax credit to put in the secondary suite in your house. This takes effect in 2023, and not a lot of more information has been released, but more will come out over time. The second thing is good news for first-time home buyers. To help people save a down payment for their first house, the federal government is announcing a tax-free first home savings account. In this account, it's similar to an RRSP where you can put up to $40,000 tax-free into the account, and when you buy a house, you can draw the money without paying tax on it to put down as a down payment on the house. Now, a couple of facts about this are, first off, while it is similar to an RRSP, the big difference is this money does not have to be repaid. Okay. Secondly, you're allowed to put up to, as I mentioned, a maximum of $40,000 at $8,000 a year, but there's no carryover. So if this year you put in $8,000, next year you put in $4,000, in the third year you cannot carry the $4,000 you didn't put in the previous year into the next year and put in a total of $12,000. It's still going to be a maximum of $8,000 a year. However, there does not appear to be a time limit, so you can take 5 years or 10 years to put the $8,000 or the $40,000 into the account. An added benefit is if you're a couple, both parties can save up to $40,000 to use for a tax-free down payment on the house. Now, the last thing is what the government is calling Homebuyers Bill of Rights. In my opinion, this is the most interesting and potentially problematic thing that they've introduced. And I say problematic because there's absolutely no details on it yet. What they've announced is the Minister of Housing will engage with provinces over the next year to develop and implement a Homebuyers Bill of Rights and bring forward a national plan to end blind bidding and also introduce a legal right to a home inspection. First thing is, housing and real estate are actually provincial matters, so technically right now it doesn't appear that the federal government has the right to impose these things on the country. So potentially they have to change laws or work with the provinces to do it. We'll have to see how that goes. Typically the first thing they want to do is end blind bidding. Well, in Canada, when two or more buyers are going to submit an offer on a property at the same time, both buyers write blind. They have no idea what the other parties are writing. The federal government wants to end that. I believe their perception is that the blind bidding is forcing real estate prices to go too high. So they're going to have to bring in some system where all parties are aware of what other parties are bidding. Now, typically right now they're using this in Australia. I saw a video recently explaining how they do it. When a house goes on the market, they have a couple-week period where people can view the property, arrange their financing. If they want to do a building inspection, they do it during this time period. And then on a designated day, everybody apparently meets at the house, and they basically do an auction to bid on the house. People keep yelling at the number that they want to bid on the property. Highest bidder gets it, and then afterwards the buyer has to finalize it in writing by submitting an offer that has no conditions whatsoever. It is firm and binding. They've already had the time to do their inspection. So potentially in the period up to it, they will have multiple buyers do an inspection on a house, yet only one person gets the house, so a number of buyers have paid for inspections that are of no benefit to them anymore since they didn't get the property. How they're going to do it in Canada, we have no idea. They haven't announced it yet. But basically, they are going to use some sort of method, it appears, to create an auction effect. I've read some studies on this that are indicating there's concerns this will actually drive prices higher because potential buyers will be caught in a situation where in the heat of the moment they'll keep bidding higher to get the house. Under our system currently where you bid blind, at least you have time to consider what price you're going to submit, and there's no heat of the moment bidding. How this again is going to play out, we don't know. It's going to be a year to 2 years before we get a firm indication of how this will transpire. The second thing that they want to do is give buyers a legal right or legal requirement to do a home inspection. Currently, the legal requirement, a legal right to do your home inspection is established through your purchase and sale agreement. However, in the heated market we've experienced in the last couple of years, we are seeing here in Halifax that some buyers are simply choosing to leave out the building inspection in an attempt to make their offer stronger and more appealing to the seller. And in some markets like Toronto, which are even hotter at times, it's in some cases, if you put a home inspection in, the seller will simply not consider your offer because they have too many other options with no home inspection. So apparently the government wants to put in where the buyer has to do a building inspection. How this works, we're going to have to wait and find out. In theory, they could put the language in the contract and make it so it can't be taken out. But even if it's in the offer, how do you actually force a buyer to spend money and do a building inspection? We have no idea what that's going to look like. And if there is a building inspection done that the buyer really didn't want to do, a couple of defects show up, the buyer is willing to absorb those defects. Do they have to approach the seller with them? Can they absorb them? It's going to be an interesting thing to find out. We won't know, like I said, until probably 1 or 2 years down the road. I will be posting additional videos on this in the future as we get more information. So again, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll know about future videos. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day. Talk to you later.